Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another amazing episode of the Pitchside podcast.
Pitchside.
And the lineup is amazing as usual. Domi.
Yes, sir.
El Capitan.
All right, Bragg.
Good. It's good to see
Welcome.
Welcome.
Skipper.
Yes. There's the skipper.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Busy schedule?
Very.
How
But
are you
manageable?
handling it?
No, manageable. Yeah.
You know, I haven't started cramping.
No, not at all. I'm enjoying it, you know.
Yeah.
More time on the field, more time traveling means you save a lot of money.
Oh, actually, that's smart.
You see?
Yeah.
You
That's
must take
smart.
notes. Eh?
Yeah, that's smart. Okay, you and I, we can't travel unless we're going to Cape Town to do it.
Here we go again. We're not here about me, but Ronwen, we just want to find out, man, sit and just have a nice conversation with you, get to know you a little bit better. And we always just want to start with, where is home? Where does it start for you?
Yeah, I'm originally from Port Elizabeth, Calvindale, far away. That's home.
Yeah.
It will always be home. You know, whenever I get the opportunity, I always go home. Go and get my blessings. you
Yes.
know. And yeah, my family, most of them are situated in one street, Eastlop Street.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I like how.
Like safety, that's a good
safety,
security measure. You can leave and say,
I'm going
my
to-
brother is next door.
Yeah, no, so
that's
home
nice.
is Calvindale, Port Elizabeth.
All right, and then when does the football bug hit you?
Sure. Jeez. At a very young age.
Yeah.
Funny enough, when my mother was pregnant with me, she was
Yes.
still playing football.
Okay.
So up until I think she said 6 months, she was still playing. So my father said that he knew that I was going to be like a soccer player because I was playing, kicking ball, and running. You know, before I was born even.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did me at a very early age. My whole family played, mother, brother, father, sister, everyone. So it was, you know, bound to happen for me as well.
Did you start as a goalkeeper?
Not really. I was a striker, and I enjoyed obviously scoring goals. I was very fast. I know I don't look fast, but I was very quick, and I used to score goals. But then, you know, I looked up to my uncle.
Okay.
He was a goalkeeper. You know,
Okay.
he was one of the best. Played for EP, provincial. So then I wanted to, you know, be like him.
Ah, that's nice.
You know, so then I started going in goals, and then as time went, I just started losing a lot of pace. You know,
Because you're a
so
goalkeeper.
yeah,
It just disappeared.
and then I could see now I'd rather go to the back and stay there. It's safer.
And how did you get up at the Super Sport Academy?
We played a school tournament, Love Life tournament
Oh, I
in
remember the
Durban,
Love Life,
and Godfrey Muswetsa,
Yeah, I remember.
who's still at
Good,
Supersport,
good,
he scouted me,
Okay.
and he invited me for trials in the year 2004. And came for June trials, made it to the final trials, which was September school holiday. And, you know, that's where I met Kermit Erasmus. Obviously, he was at the academy already. Met him, and a lot of other guys who made it. Mikael Tim, Tato Mukeke. You know, there were so many guys who made it pro. Kamuele Mukocho,
You guys
Masibusani Zongo. We had such an amazing squad.
Yeah.
And then I joined the team 2005.
Amazing. Now, in all of this, I mean, you've got some big names that you've mentioned there who have all lifted their hands and done so much just for the game of football. Are you saying if we ever needed you to play as a 9, you can slot in
the
there?
pace is gone. He just said it.
But
Yeah,
you don't
but
need
Muna,
the
he
pace.
can be a holding.
But he can hold
You remember
it. He can hold it.
Teminkosi Biela? You just
The game is no longer like that anymore. He has changed. But I think with the technique, I trust him. He can connect it because in front of goals, you just have to connect.
Yeah.
And he knows what connection means.
Speaking about technique and the connection, I mean, there's a game in the clip that keeps on coming up on the internet of when we're playing Al Ahly at Loftus, how you played it down the middle and so forth. How much time as a goalkeeper do you have to put in to almost get and be, first of all, that comfortable with the ball at your feet, and secondly, be able to play those sort of passes?
Yeah, I mean, lots of work, years of work, you know. It doesn't stop, you know, can't stop learning and improving your technique. But I was lucky because I got the technique, you know, from the academy.
Yes.
You know, because we were in connection with Feyenoord.
Yes.
And we had the Dutch coaches there, so we were learned technique at a very young age. And it it's always been my game, you
Okay.
know, but because of different personalities of coaches
Yes.
wanting to play a different way, you know, people didn't tend to see that side of me.
100%. That's what I was going to say, was to say, I mean, when you came to Sundowns, we then saw that side, which we didn't know existed.
Yeah, true.
I was lucky to witness that when
Yeah.
he was a 14-year-old?
Yeah, yeah.
14-year-old. And I was lucky when I trained with them.
Yeah.
To see the level of, development in terms of how they develop themselves in the academy.
Yes.
And when they come to the first team, the gap wasn't big. And the tactics they understand, of course, they were young, but you would tell that they have a technique.
Yeah.
The players that you mentioned, they were crazy talent. Kemet, when we saw Kemet was a 14-year-old, I thought he was our age mate.
Yeah.
Because the way he would finish. Remember when we used to do finishing and he would come and finish left and
Left,
right.
right.
And I still say in South Africa, I could be corrected, I've never seen a striker who finishes like Kemet, left both feet.
Amazing.
With same
Power, technique,
power,
same.
technique, and it's same.
Yeah.
And I've seen that when I was a kid. And what he's saying now, okay, remember the shot that I gave you the other day?
I'll never forget that. They just invited me to come and train with the first team.
Yeah.
And it was the 2010 World Cup balls. You remember there was a lot of issues with that ball.
Yes, the moving ball.
So I'm thinking, here's my opportunity now to show that I can be part of the team.
Yeah.
And Mr. Skipper this side hits me with a rocket, and the ball went right through my hand. I was like, no, there's my chance gone.
But that ball was tricky.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of goalkeepers complain about apparently the
ball.
movement in the air and that sort of thing.
No, but it's not the ball. It's
No.
power.
I don't know. It's the power.
That was the difficult ball to
power.
catch.
And people don't know.
Yeah.
In that time, he's not wearing socks.
You see, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We've been discussing this thing, right? I said to him,
I thought you were going to come here and protect me.
come on. We discussed this thing
under
where I
pressure with
said to
that.
him that everybody who's played with him says that he never used to put on socks.
Never.
And he says, no, it's not true. Don't fall for what people say in the streets. But everybody seems to confirm it.
No, it's true. I've seen it. I can attest, and he knows as well. I actually asked him about it. He said, no, I want to feel the ball.
Now, did you say anything? I'm under pressure because this guy has been attacking me from, what was it? Did you mention this?
No, but now we're playing outside. They're
pressure.
kicking balls, is
Mr.
putting on
Ngoya,
socks.
sorry,
I'm
I
like,
need-
you
I
don't
need
have to
pen,
act
because I'm
for
under
me.
pressure. I need to explain this. Oh,
Please
man.
help
Okay.
us understand this thing of no socks.
I'm under pressure. This thing wasn't about me.
Okay.
We're here to speak about Ronwen. But since when you want explanation,
Yes.
give me an extra time here and I'll explain what
I knew it. Ronwen, it's not easy being in your position. I think, as the quote goes, captain here always says, a bird sitting on top of a tree will always invite a stone. So being number one at Sundowns, being number one at Bafana, and also the talk on the internet, you can never run away from it, is being number one in Africa. How do you deal with that pressure? Is it pressure, first of all, for you?
No, not at all. I've always been,
under pressure.
you know, that type where I don't let any off-the-field things, put pressure on me. Or I'm so relaxed, man, and I don't, I just control what I can control.
Yeah.
And that is my performance. That is my intensity at training, my intensity in the matches, how I prepare. And, other things I can't control, what people are going to say.
Yeah.
For me, it's just to continue raising the bar. The coach always emphasizes, leave the shirt in a better place that you got it. And I mean, when I came here, there was
Great
Kennedy
goalkeepers.
Mweni, Dennis and Yanko, and what they achieved together, I can only dream about reaching, their levels. So that's why each and every day, when I come to training and I see their faces, I'm like, gee whiz, I need to show up. I need to raise the bar. And to raise the bar and to achieve more than what they did, it's not easy.
Yeah.
But it's possible. And we've got a technical team who believes
That.
that we can do that. We can get to the Club World Cup. We can win Champions League. We just won AFL. Break records. So it's just to believe and, control what I can control.
Speaking on that, you said when you decided to come here, you knew who was at the time ahead of you already at the team, and there were talks about, hey, he could go there, he could go there. What is the deciding factor? What makes then you decide to say, actually, I like that project or that challenge, and that's where I'm going to go?
Just every time that I played against them,
Yeah.
it was so difficult, you know, and training with them, the players at the national team, you can see the level is much higher.
Okay.
Having spent so many years at the national team with so many guys, and you see the level that they're playing at, the level that they're training at.
Yeah.
And the talks that they have as well, they don't speak about winning the league, they speak about winning the Champions League. And that's crazy, you know, where their mental space is, you know, they're looking, you know, to break barriers. And I was like, you know, I want to be that. You know, I want to be part of that, and just the way they do things, you know, it's a crazy level. And I mean, to see them year in, year out, challenge Champions League, and Champions League is tough. It's so difficult. But for the past, I think 7-8 years, being there consistently, it's not easy. People shouldn't look at it and say, yeah, no, it's very difficult. And I mean, we could see now with the start that we had. All 4 teams on 4 points after game 3. You know, it's tough, and
Very tough.
all the countries now, they've got professional leagues. You can ask KK. Back in the day, you would go to
Royal.
you know, and it's tough, you know. But now, you know, each wherever you go, they make it so difficult for you.
Like, you know, when I saw the move, I was like, this is the right time. You know, considering the fact that I saw him as a kid, and you know, the amount of time that he spent at Supersport, you would, okay, he has done so well for Supersport, and you would believe like this is the time where the kid has to start winning, you know, silverware. And I think there was nothing that excited me to see him, you know, taking the Bafana jersey, you know, coming here, and you know, he was humble enough to understand that he has to fight for his place. But he has done already well from the time at Supersport, and that was the foundation. You know, to come here, as you say, you saw the conversation, and you heard the conversation about, you know, the Champions League, and then that. Of course, every player wants to have a feel of that and test himself with the best in the continent. And I think that for me gave me, you know, that's nice feeling to say, finally this kid is going to the, you're no longer a kid. This guy is going to the team that will take him to the next level. And you need that as a player. And even I myself, when I left Supersport, I just won the league at the time. But I needed more. You know what I mean? I needed more, and the challenges as a player, you need to experience new challenges. And I think now you can tell us that you're no longer the same player that we saw 2 years ago at Supersport. You know, because of the challenges and maybe the environment that you find yourself in. You're no longer going to training and having to think, okay, is he gonna pull out? Is he gonna train well? Is he gonna, you know what I mean? You're not worried about those. You worry about, how am I doing as a player? Am I ready to show up? And I think there's a mentality in bigger teams that we shy away to speak about. That, you know, when you play with the best in the league, automatically your level, even the attitude changes. You know what I mean? But I was just, let me just shake your hand for one.
Thanks so much.
For that
Thanks.
I believe you deserve what you because the number of years that we played in the PSL is never easy. We're talking about the Champions League, that to play in the Champions League is not easy. We're forgetting that to play in the PSL itself. Because every year teams they
get better, 100%.
They bring somebody who's better than you, but you must make sure that you're in that level. And the amount of years that you spend at Supersport, there's better goalkeepers that I'm sure they came in to challenge you, but you have to be resilient and make sure that when you train to go and play again. Man.
I've heard KK and Diani and even Teko speak about how tough the Champions League was for them, especially the travels into Africa. I remember the one bus trip took them 12 hours, no food.
He's lovely chef.
They had a chef who they knew from South Africa who was going there. All of a sudden, when they get there, this guy doesn't speak English anymore. They can't get a hold of him and that sort of thing. What's been the toughest thing for you just traveling the continent and playing in Champions League?
No, I must say, I have to give credit to the club.
Yeah.
You know, the attention to detail, even in the traveling, they take it serious, and it's important.
Yeah.
They try by all means to limit the traveling.
Yes.
So instead of via, they try and go straight. If it means fork out few more money, they do it.
Yeah.
And you can see, so us as footballers, we appreciate that.
Yes.
You know, we don't see clubs do that and give back, you know, to the teams like that. And I mean, that's one thing that I can say. You know, they do it the best. I mean, they always have an advanced crew. You'll have Gulam there week, 2 weeks before preparing, making sure once we get there, everything is in order. So we, you know, everything so far has been good. Yes, obviously the traveling will always be tough.
Yeah.
But, you know, in saying that, you know, they cut out the via, and we go straight. Perfect.
the via,
Everything is just
Yeah.
okay. So, yeah, no, it's been top.
Yeah. No,
Luckily
Gulam-
for him, even in the difficulties that he's speaking about, he was already at Supersport. They
Yes.
played the national team. You know, the dynamics he understands properly. So when you come here, of course, then the schedule is tighter,
Yes.
more tighter. Then it makes it a little bit difficult in first year. But second year, then you realize, oh, okay, let me work around my traveling. Because I remember the other day, you guys are coming from Algeria. You went
Yeah,
straight
let's
to the camp, to camp and play.
Yeah.
I promise you that day, because I thought, because I played, he's going to change the team and I'm going to rest that game. And he told me, no, you need to play because of the clean sheet record.
Yeah.
I promise you I was playing that game, but I can't recall playing that game.
I remember.
I was mentally, I was not there.
I know.
And I was tired, my eyes were burning in the game. And it was a 3 o'clock game. Imagine we just landed like literally 12, 14 hours.
Yeah. Then you
we
must go and play.
But then, I mean, you know, that's what you signed up for. You know,
The content you
you've got
sign
to-
up for.
got to show up.
2000, they say
Coach
that.
always says you've
Yeah.
got to
To
show,
show
up.
up.
And, you know, I had to.
Speaking of mental strength as well, it cannot be easy, maybe might not be the word to describe it, but it cannot be easy to come into a space where you know you're not currently number one, or you've been knocking at the door to become number one for the longest time. How do you then deal with that mentally, to say, look, my hand is up, I've got to keep performing until I get my break?
Obviously, before I signed, I had a brief chat with the goalkeeper coach.
Yeah.
He's wanted me for the longest time, you know. And luckily for me, I worked with him at the Olympics.
Okay.
And I could see that the level he's at, you know, that I want to be part of that, and he'll take my game to the next level.
Yeah.
And, you know, the day I joined, when we flew to Durban, when I got there, you know, the coach said, no, go see the analyst. And I was like, what now? I came there, they had the presentation was set up for me. There was like 6, 7, 8 different build-up schemes planned out for me already.
Yeah.
So I got it, took it, I had to study it, and we had a game the next day. Luckily for me, we didn't play because there were so many build-up schemes. I didn't know what was going on there.
Yeah.
And then luckily for me, I didn't play, so I got to train more. And it was 1 week to go before we played Cape Town City.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just the experiences over the years and what I've gained, and, you know, working with the technical team, working with Dennis before, with Riyadh, you know, they made, you know, I have to give credit to them because they welcomed me and they made things so much more easier for me. They allowed me to shine, if I can put it like that. They supported me, you know, helped me with the build-ups, and they just made me feel comfortable. And it was just for me to go out there and show what I'm worth.
Yeah. Everybody speaks about the difficulty of adapting once you arrive here. Like you speak about day one, they're like, go sit with the analysts for some time. Well, how hard was it for you to adapt? Because I take it then you're coming from a place where maybe there wasn't that sort of introduction, but now you've got to sit with the analysts. The fitness trainer is different, the coaching is different, the requirements from you just as an individual become completely different.
Yeah, no, it's the attention to detail. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, it's to the T, and it's something that I wanted. It's something that I missed. You know, the last few years. You know, like I said, I didn't enjoy waking up and training, and I just didn't enjoy football. It was I'm doing the same things over and over again. And now here I come where I need to focus, study, do corrections. You know, and analyze games, sit and study all the build-ups, and I was like, I like this, you know, because this is gonna help improve my game and take it to the next level, the level that I'm looking for,
Yeah.
that I know I can get to. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoyed it because I'm not a very busy guy, so I'm always at home.
Yeah.
So my time is spent, you know, in front of the iPad, watching, studying, doing corrections, trying to better myself.
Yeah, we hear the coach speak of corrections all the time. So if I'm a fan sitting at home and I want to just understand what corrections is, what exactly are the corrections? Is it looking back at the past game and saying, what could I have done better? What could I have done differently? What is it?
Yes, that's exactly it. It's sometimes, most of the time, it's the previous game. We look at all maybe your mistakes. We look at the build-ups.
Yeah.
Some things we could have do better. Maybe goals we conceded, the goals we scored sometimes even. So it's more individual, but sometimes it's team.
It's a group, yeah.
It's group as well. So it's just to look at, you know, you as an individual. Are you watching your game? Do you notice your mistakes, where you could have done better? And there's so, you know, it's so important. Because so many goals that we've scored this season comes from corrections, where the coach is like, Ronwen, starting even in the build-up, Ronwen, if you took a higher position, that means you push the defender in the next higher. And the goal we scored 3 days ago is exactly that. I'm as a centre-back, Rivaldo is pushed up. Everyone is a step higher. And this comes from corrections, comes from training, comes from hours and hours sitting in the meeting room. You know, most of our goals, even the clean sheets, we study things to the T. So you know exactly the type of goals that the team scores. Because every team has a pattern, a way of scoring. And so we know beforehand, okay, no, the team is strong like this. So how do we prevent that? And that comes from corrections. It comes from the work on the field. And, you know, corrections is so important. Last month when we were in Casablanca, Hashim came to visit us. And apparently he told the coach, there's one thing that I miss, is corrections. Someone, you know, helping me on how to get better. Because, you know, you've got a coach who sees things differently. Like, I'll be like, no, coach, I should have opened up, but to my right. He says, yes, but Ron, if you done that, then you bring that guy into play. So what if you took a step into the next line? You know, it's things like that, and then we discuss it, then we go and try it, and then it helps.
It really helps, the corrections, because when you and I, we can sit here and watch this, and you find that we don't see this the same. Maybe the distance from here to there, you see that it's shorter, and then when I'm here, I see the longer distance. So it's easier when we discuss this, and I'm giving you my view, and you give me your view. But then when we put it down, we put it as if we've got the two options now. Now you can use your option, but look at this now. Can this help us? This is what he's talking about, the goal that they scored in pyramids now. It's something that in your naked eye you'll never see, because you just see the ball. Normally, a lot of us, when we watch football, we watch where the ball is going. And then there are a lot of movements that we don't normally see. And what he's talking about, that River steps into the midfield, this is the new
hybrid,
trend of
the hybrid roles.
Because he's playing the role that very, very, very intelligently, because he knows when to step in, and not many players. And I always say River is the smartest player I've ever seen. And of course, he doesn't do much in the game. He doesn't do shibobo, step over. Then you'll never see that importance in River. But he helps the team when it comes to the high press. When you're under pressure, when you are looking for somebody to bypass the press, you know River is your guy.
And he's so calm. You know, like when you look at him, even if they're pressing, you know, if you sometimes you see players are like tense.
Not him.
River just has this calmness. So I feel like I've got an extra 5 seconds. You know, that's why you'll see me standing on it, because he gives me that. And I think I've got that because I'm very laid back. So sometimes the players, you know, they panic because they see I'm being pressed, but because I'm so chilled, you know, it rubs off on the players, and then they come, and then the next one, then we come out so much more easy.
I can't tell you how many times I've sat in watching the TV and just said, Kabas Pumule, man. Kabas Pumule, man.
If we do that, then we'll sit in corrections.
You want to send him to corrections longer.
Corrections.
No, you know, we're from the age in the last third. If we are under pressure, Kabas Pumule. So we regroup.
But you know, that's where corrections help for that as well. In the game, they pressing you, you get so tense. Once you do In the game, you'll tell the coach, yeah, but there was pressure. He says, Ronza, now we do corrections. Now you look, you're like, but that guy is free.
Yes.
So if I stopped it and I,
Scan.
and I scanned and I looked and I know, because coach always tells me, you can see everything, so you need to know where everyone is beforehand.
Yeah.
So corrections is so important and it helps so much.
So you play a goalkeeper if you can play a centre midfield 6. Because you've got this one touch that
Let's
counts.
talk about the fear factor. You know, Hlompo did something in Orlando that goalkeeper.
Come on, man. We are not here to talk about
No,
me.
but we can't leave these things out. This is reality. These are facts. Of the higher the goalkeeper playing, then the risk of that. Do you not? Does that not even come into your mind that hey, somebody might want to pull a Hlompo on me?
Obviously, they're gonna try.
Yes.
But I've had this thing throughout my career. I've always played like that. It's not something new.
Okay.
Coach Rulani was telling me the other day, he was watching an old game of mine.
Yeah.
And he was like, Ronza, you've always had this thing in you. But people obviously didn't take note at the time.
Yeah.
So it's not something new. And there's people who's tried me so many times. I mean, last week against Pyramids.
Lodge once tried in Bombela.
Lodge tried.
Yeah, Yannick just tried it, I remember. Yeah. Well, ask him when I touch the ball, he runs back. Something good.
But, I analyze my opponents as well.
Yeah.
So if I see someone like KK on the ball and his head is up, I need to go back.
Yeah.
If it's someone else maybe doesn't have the technique or the power, then I'll be in between.
Yeah.
So you need to analyze your opponent and know as well.
It's gone into that much detail, right?
Because they want me to play so high, because it helps, because we press. Yeah. So when we press, I can't be
stretching the pitch.
Sitting, so I'm there as well as a sweeper keeper.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable, playing that. It's not like the coach always says, he's not going to ask his players to do something they're not comfortable with. And I'm comfortable playing high. And he always says risk versus reward. Yeah. So the risk is they can score from 60 meters and I look, very bad, but the reward is our team can press high and we can regain and we run less.
Yes. I was saying the same thing, is that because the game has developed so much now, I mean, Hlompo got that ball, pushed it once, then only took the shot. There was nobody pressing him. But because of the way we played, also then limits the chances of somebody taking that shot. Because by the time we lose it, everybody is running to try and regain it so that we can control the intensity of the game.
True, our counter press is probably our most dangerous weapon.
Because the goals that you guys are scoring,
it's from regaining.
Remember the goal against the Aubrey goal?
Yes.
So counter press, the ball, the team has the ball, and immediately they lost it to Aubrey, and Aubrey scored. And you can tell that coming from a training ground. That was refreshing.
People won't understand that goal.
I can see the way he's smiling. I can see the way he's smiling. That was from the training ground.
That happened leading up to the final.
Yeah.
Coach tried a different press with Aubrey.
Yeah.
Than the other final, the first leg.
Yeah.
He wanted Aubrey to press a different way. And footballers, why? So at training, it wasn't, it wasn't going well. They were coming out of the press. Now you must know we are playing against top guys on the other side as well. Now they're coming out and you can see the body language. And then coach says, okay, let's stop training then. Then leave it. Press the way you want to press, it's fine.
Yeah.
So then some of the senior guys are like, no, coach. We believe in it. Yeah. There's a reason why you want it like this, because we know obviously you studied the game. Yeah. So we're going to do it. So we done 1 or 2 more balls. It wasn't still to the best.
Yeah.
2 days later, it won us the AFL.
That was something.
That's why you could see the celebrations, because it came from, a fight on the field where, so that's just how special the coach is, because he picks up small things, and I don't know what he's got in his eyes, but he just knows.
And they help because you guys won the trophy just now.
From
from that
situation.
But I think the counter press for me, it's something that I will easily say, if you play for Sundowns, you must master that. Yeah. And I remember when we played you guys, we knew that when we want to get the ball, we must lift in to get the ball. And because he didn't understand, he didn't have the
100%.
They had the thing called the negative press. So normally we bypass. So I passed the ball to Dean, past Percy and Karma. gee whiz, they would turn around and press him from that
behind.
side.
Yes.
So
and you have
when I'll
KK
come,
coming from
when
the
I'm
side.
coming,
Yeah.
he wants to turn back. He
Yes,
doesn't know
then
that the
they're
people are
coming.
coming from behind.
Amazing,
And that
because
was-
I remember consistently, I mean, Coach Pizzo at the time
Yeah.
would speak about it all the time. No, let them have the ball there. That one, leave it to him, leave him, let
Yeah.
him have the ball. But it's interesting because now that's developed into
the next level.
To
That-
the
yeah,
next
no.
level.
Yeah.
No, true.
Phew.
Because now they're pressing in the midfield. Because
Yes.
where Hobry got the ball, that was too deep for me.
Yeah, yeah.
And you'll want them to at least get another touch so that you can press. But with that, I don't know how he saw that one. And it was a cross ball.
Yes.
All of that.
Yeah.
It was a cross ball, and it invites press, of course.
Yeah.
But how you saw it, that was something. And I was like, okay, the conversation with other guys, I was like, okay, that was good. And they couldn't understand where I'm coming
Yeah,
from.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, "Osh, it's difficult to explain this, but no, man, as long as I'm enjoying this moment. Yeah.
How exciting is it that you guys have these hybrid roles? So you're no longer just a goalkeeper, you also a centre back, and sometimes even playing higher than what a normal or what we would know as normal centre back. How exciting is it to come in and then learn about playing in these new positions and having people who have played in those roles for so long? Because we were chatting the other day that we saw Bongani play as a
Centre back,
centre
centre midfield.
centre midfield. So Tapelo plays a centre back,
back,
right
winger,
wing,
first
right, you know.
striker.
How exciting is it for you just as a player then to be able to come to training and not know I might be required to play centre back today?
No, I love it. I personally, I love it. You know, it gets me excited. It gets me up in the morning.
Yeah.
It gives me that energy to come to training, to know that you're going to learn something today. And the coaches said, Ronza, you can't just be a goalkeeper. He's told most of the, the team that you can't just have one position anymore. It does not.
The game is going.
The game is going
changing,
fast.
yeah, yeah.
And we need to keep up. Coach is always looking at. He always says there's three things: respect the game of the past, something the game of the current game, and predict the game of the future. And that's how and that's
No, I understand.
and
where
that's
you come
exactly
from.
what's happening now. Where the game of the future is going to be crazy. Where you have maybe no goalkeepers.
Yeah.
They playing as defenders.
Remember when we saw Fernandino used to play centre back? We were like, what is this?
Yeah.
And the game was changing, and in front of us, we could see in front of our eyes that the game is going into that direction. Where in the future, we will
I
want
don't
a
know.
defender that will do step over from the back.
I don't
Because-
know what's going to happen in the future. I don't know, but it's exciting, and
Yeah,
I enjoy
it's
it, man. I
exciting.
enjoy it. Like I said, I hope I can explain the pyramids goal because we just watched it now again before training.
Yeah.
So I stepped into centre back,
Okay.
allows Riva to step into midfield.
Yes.
Terence, who's a left back,
Comes
he's
inside.
a 10.
I saw how he received
He's
the
a 10.
That was a 10.
He's a 10.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and then you have Mshishi, who's a 10, as a 9. And you have Peter and Lucas. So you have 4 players attacking their last line.
Of course.
And you still have overload. But how do you have the overload when it's 11 versus 11? But it's because of the goalkeeper. So now inside the field it's 11 versus 10.
Yeah. Because the other goalkeeper is
Because
defending.
now I
You are
stand on
free.
the ball.
Yeah.
If the striker presses me,
The other guy is free.
There's an open
so it
man.
means there's 9 guys versus 10.
Yeah.
So we need to find that, and that's the detail in this thing.
Are
That's
we,
why
are we allowed to even be having this conversation, giving away secrets? Oh, but we're going into a break now, and I reckon we're going to come back playing a completely different way.
But they all see it and they know
It's
it.
there.
But
And
why
the
can't
coach-
they stop it? That's the question that has always been asked.
Yeah, well, it needs bravery.
Okay.
And how many teams are that brave to go toe-to-toe with Sundowns?
Yeah.
Because when you go toe-to-toe, it means you're opening your last line.
Yeah.
And nobody will want to get that space and give Sundowns that space behind, because then it means you're calling for 10.
Yeah.
Because Lucas will enjoy himself with that freedom. Temba, he doesn't need much space. He just want to dance on that space.
Yeah.
He was a master. He used to traumatize Dean. Because every time Dean will be like, I'll mark Temba, I'll deal with him. Temba receive behind him.
Yeah.
And he couldn't understand how Temba managed to get that space. And nobody, even today, I played with Temba more than 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't know how he gets that space. And I don't know, Temba, is he quicker than us?
No, he's just very intelligent.
Very
He's
intelligent.
too intelligent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he knows when to get into space.
he's a master of space.
Oh.
To see the space.
Nice.
And sometimes there's like you said, the opposition 6 role is to follow him everywhere.
Yeah.
But you can't.
You can't,
You'll
because
see
you're gonna
for the
leave
first.
gaps.
Yeah, you'll see for the first few minutes. Yeah, but then Mshishi is so clever. He'll see that and then he opens.
Yeah.
He goes there to the side and then you'll see someone else receive
I
it.
promise you that guy.
No,
is
he's too intelligent.
Yeah, I think in the modern game requires intelligent players as well, because like you said, for example, with the Terence example of him now playing as a 10, it cannot be easy.
No, you cannot.
No, not at
It
all.
cannot.
Do you guys think that there is something like overcoaching?
No, not at all.
No. Players needs that. Where you go to training, as you say, you know that you're not gonna train like you did 2 weeks ago. That has passed.
Yeah.
We're going for another session that is gonna, refreshes my mind. There's nothing that refreshes players' mind and excites them to know that okay, they're gonna play in the session, and it's something very totally different to what we did last week.
Yes.
And I think that helps them to pitch up every time, because they look forward to the training session and the 10 that Terence is talking about. I'm sure for first 2 weeks he didn't like that because he is facing his own goals.
Yes.
No one defender wants to train like that. But then as you get comfortable with it, when you do it over and over, it gets comfortable. I hated to play the ball to my left a lot of time because I don't have this left foot. But then it helps us to go to my left foot because then the teams shift towards the ball. Then that's where Temba got the ball. And if one touch, if I clip it, I saw you pass this one.
If I clip it.
Yeah, it's to clip it behind. And he knows what I'm talking about. And there's so many players that you can give them that pass.
Yes.
But when you give it to Temba, you know he can do it.
Yeah.
And then even the smaller spaces, you'll get it, you'll control, and he's still gonna get the position. But when I look at those moments now, I was like, I never liked to play like this. But that was giving us trophies, rewards, because when you do that, it's no longer about you now, but you're enjoying it because everybody else is playing their roles properly. Because when you do that, the thing that you feel you're not comfortable with, somebody else is shining. That one, when we're talking about Terence turning there, a left back turning there, I've never seen Terence
He was
before.
so good. The Cape Town Spurs game, he was so good.
Amazing.
Number 10, him and Tapelo Morena
Inside.
inverting as fullbacks into 10. I mean, now if they have to watch football, they're not going to watch left backs anymore. Now they must watch Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne.
Watch the movements.
I can't be watching Edison anymore. I must watch Ruben Diaz. I must watch John Stones to
Because
see
that's
how
how
they
they
play.
play.
Because coach wants me to be on that line. And, so now it's exciting, man. It's like you're not just fixed on one position. Now I need to see what Edison is doing. Okay, he's passing like that. Okay, how is John Stones when he's in the centre back? So it's exciting. And now when you do corrections also, it's not just on the fixed position. You're thinking,
have a
because the game is
reference.
going, you have a reference now.
Yeah, sure.
And, and like you said, it's not easy.
It cannot be.
You as Ronwen, normally I'm just in my box.
Yeah.
Just
And you're
standing there,
comfortable,
giving the ball and waiting. Now, you're like, nah, coach, nah.
When they're
But
under
then
pressure,
what-
we went wrong.
But now, as you're like, no, man, I can't do this because it helps the team. So now you look at someone like Terence, who hasn't played so many games.
Exactly.
And now when he plays, he just wants to be in his position where he's comfortable.
So that he can gain
So
that
he can gain
confidence.
confidence.
Yeah.
So now coach is like, no,
we're
man,
pushing
I
him
can
to
see
go.
something
Yeah.
in you. You must also, just stay on board with me and believe. And then he showed in Cape Town Spurs, like he was so good. And then to go to Pyramids.
Then the confidence
and to
is
do
high.
that,
That was
it's
something.
crazy.
That was something.
Talk to me about the importance of senior players in the team.
So key.
Yeah.
So key, especially in today's society
Yes.
and social media.
Yes.
It's, because we've seen it all.
Yeah.
I'll say myself because I've been long in the game,
Yeah.
even though I'm still young.
Yeah.
But I've been very long in the game. And, back then it was just training, chill, go home.
Yeah.
Now it's training, check your phone, Instagram, check
Yes.
Twitter.
Yeah.
People being so negative. There's a lot of people trying to it's like they're not happy.
With the Sundowns doing so well.
We're doing so well. We sacrifice so much. We hardly see our families, but people don't see that.
Yeah.
It's like people are still not happy for us. I don't know what we've done to anyone, but we sacrifice so much. So and it's difficult. So the guys who've seen it all, who've seen when it was just get in your car, go home.
Yeah.
Now they see it different now. So now you'll have the Dennis and Shishis Kapalai, Coach Kapalai. You know,
I struggle to believe that.
they help with the experiences, you
Yeah.
know, to help and tell the guys, you know. I always say, you know, control what you can control. You can't control what people are going to say about you.
Yeah.
But what you can control is
Yourself.
how you're coming to training.
Yeah, how you train,
Your
how you
intent,
apply yourself.
how you apply yourself, how you apply yourself in games, how you look after your family as well. Because that's important. That's where you get your blessings, you know, going back home, giving back to your community. You know, do all these things, you know, and then God will always bless you and reward you. And so it's key.
Yeah.
It's very key.
There's no solid team without senior players.
So,
We've seen it because we've seen teams dismantle their team and get rid of senior players, and
No, go
we're
all
yet
over,
to see them.
all over the world
Yeah.
and see the championship teams. They've got senior guys that will control the championship. And the Real Madrid, when they won so many trophies, they've got Sergio Ramos, Modric, Marcelo, crazy one. Of course, they've got so many. When
Yeah.
look at Barcelona back in the days, they've got Piqué, Xavi, Messi. Those are the people that will control the team. The Manchester City team that just won the Champions League now, look at their senior players. People that they will have that, you know, they'll close that gap between the coaches and the youngsters. Because the youngsters, they don't want to talk to the coaches. No, you understand? Man, what's that word? Mabena, do you understand? Yeah, coach.
Yeah,
You
just
know what?
yes, he just wants to
because
play.
he wants to play.
Yeah.
But he doesn't understand so many things. He doesn't want to understand so many things because he's young.
Yes.
But then the senior guys will be like, Mabena, you see what the coach was saying?
Yeah.
Saying two-step, right?
Yes.
Two-step. But he relates with that because the senior guys is talking.
Yeah.
So I think the responsibility of these guys is massive.
Oh, it is.
Especially when, like you say, the society now has
There's
changed.
so many things. now.
There's so many things. You have to make sure that the younger ones, you know, they are always, you know, calmer and realize that they understand that the bigger picture is still coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think today, the reason why we don't have so many young, good players in South Africa is because one good match,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they've arrived.
Yeah.
Social
because, media. Because the social media says this. And then the group that is playing with, they are the most same ages as them. So there's no one to
Balance it and say, put you in your place.
no,
Keep your feet
nobody
on the
was going
ground.
to put you in a place because we're like, Naves, that was good in fact. But nobody was going to tell you about the pass that you missed because that pass maybe could have gave us 3 points or even more. You know what I mean?
100%.
So these guys, they are coaches in the change room because the coaches cannot enter the change room. There's walls in footballers.
Yeah.
Footballers, they speak. Hello, Temba, how are you?
How are you?
It's like in a drink
Don't
game.
be scared.
Oh, shoot, Temba.
I remember we spoke about it a while back where we saw Bongani Zungu after a game. I think it was a game that Mapena scored in.
Yeah.
There was, I think, a pass that he could have played, but he wanted to beat the third man.
Yeah.
But he went back just to try and still guide it and keep it there. And I guess that also then once again speaks to the importance of senior players.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But before that, you touched on three important things. One being we live in a world of social media, going back to your neighborhood to give back, and also family. On social media, I mean, they'll always try and judge you on something, right? How is it that you have managed to keep the brand so clean? And how do you deal with the negativity that comes with social media?
No, I know it's tough. It's tough, and as much as you see it all,
Yeah.
you just need to put on a strong armor and
Yeah.
just protect yourself, protect your family, and protect your brand, and most importantly, protect your career and your talent, because people are looking to break you.
Yes.
You know, people don't want to see
A good thing
people
happening.
doing well. And I mean, it's not only in football, it's in society. You know, they don't want to
100%.
see you have the best hit out.
Yes.
Well, people will always want, no. You know, so...
Because there's been a
it's
lot
just-
of negatives
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
in our
Yeah.
country over
Yeah,
this
true.
past year. So there's nothing that motivates everybody. We're always looking to bring people down. And
Yeah.
as you were saying, when it's good, we don't want it
No,
to
we
be
don't want to.
good. Why Ronza?
I don't know.
It
I
has
don't
to
know.
be somebody else. Okay,
Yeah.
they don't want it
Yeah.
because they can't have it.
Yeah.
But they don't want it to happen
to...
to you. You know what I mean? So I think it's just sad to see.
You know, I just try and live. I try by all means to just live a family-orientated life.
Yeah.
I try. You know, sometimes it's difficult. You
course.
know, you're still young. You
Yeah.
want to enjoy life. You want to go out with your friends and enjoy. But, you know, the moment you go out, that's when the devil or something bad happens, you know. So, not to say that I've been clean all my
Of
life.
course.
I've done so many bad things.
Temba, go on,
you know.
let's pause on it.
But I learn,
Please.
you know, and
Kupa,
show.
let's pause it too. Yeah.
You can't be clean if you're a goalkeeper. Yeah.
No. You know,
Yeah.
so it's just to
You
try
can't be
by
clean
all
when you're a
means.
goalkeeper because you're always diving off.
No, just try and keep a clean, family-orientated life.
Yeah.
Stay at home, you know, just invest my time properly.
Yeah.
Because this thing goes by so fast,
Yeah.
so quickly, you know. Then it's time to.
Do you get a chance to live in the moment? When you put out a performance and it's man of the match, do you get a chance to fully embrace it? And
Not
say,
at Sundowns.
I'm going to reward myself with a cup of coffee because I did well. No?
Not at
Not
all.
at
I'm
Sundowns.
different. I'm different. The coach, he always has a go at me. He says, Ronwen, enjoy it. You've done extremely well. This. I say, yeah, coach, but there's another one in 2 days.
Yeah.
So once the final whistle goes, we high five. The moment I'm in the change room, boom, it's gone.
Yeah.
And some players always ask me like, why are you not happy? We just won this. I'm like, yeah, there's something else coming. You know, I'm again thinking of corrections. Honestly, I'm like, what could I have done better? There's a next game coming. Even after the AFL final, it was massive for the club.
Yeah.
And yet,
That was big.
I couldn't go out and celebrate it with my family or anyone because in a few hours' time, I had to go to national camp. And we rocked up. You know, it just shows, you know, the level of professionalism from us. We were all there
On
10
time.
o'clock, on time. 10 o'clock. Imagine you just won the AFL.
Yeah.
You're so happy. But we all rocked up. We came there ready to do service for the national team. You know, so...
It's a crazy business.
crazy
when
one.
you
It's
play for
crazy.
Sundowns.
You can't enjoy it. Honestly, you can't enjoy it. You
And
can't
but
enjoy
you
it.
was there when we won the Champions League.
Yeah.
Remember? Did
Yeah.
we celebrate?
No.
What happened?
We went to the hotel. We got our security escort back because they're like, okay,
And
you
then
guys
we-
won.
when we got to
We
South
had
Africa?
dinner, and then we got back onto the plane. We had a little parade at the airport, and then we're straight to camp.
Yeah, no.
You know what I
That's
mean?
how it goes.
So it's
That's how it
crazy
goes.
because when you play for Sundowns, each match you win, it adds to the calendar. So it stretches the calendar
Yeah,
even
true.
more. I love that stress though.
No, it's the best.
It's the
No,
best
it's the
stress,
best.
but I don't miss it. Don't
We
miss it.
were putting on boots earlier, and he says to me, "I'm putting on boots. I really don't miss this."
It was a torture reminder. Because in as much as the adrenaline is nice.
Yes.
Guys, you guys don't understand how
No.
the sacrifice these guys
Yeah.
are putting in making sure that the team wins football matches.
And I think he still has the record for playing the most number of games
In a season.
In a season. That's crazy. Yeah.
And to do
I
that
remember,
now,
didn't they get you tested after that? They're like, "We need to
They
look
did.
into you." Yeah.
no, because it's not easy.
Yeah, it was 51 or 52. What, 50?
Something like that.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
crazy.
And I mean, you can't compare us to European. Do you know how big Africa is?
Yeah. The travel
I
is
can
twice
remember
as much as time.
we flew to Casablanca, Morocco,
you
and the
pass by.
pilot says, "Look, there's France, there's Spain." I'm like, "You telling me we're going past Europe
Yeah.
and we're still in Africa?"
Yeah.
No, man, people don't understand. It's tough.
It's crazy.
So they can't and say, "No, Europeans they play 60 games. Why
Yeah,
are
of
we?"
course. They are
Yeah, their
traveling
flights
from
are 2
here.
hours, 3 hours.
They are traveling from here.
I remember
Spain is
I
there.
saw a clip where one of the teams hopped on a train to the
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
They hopped on a train, got off there, played the game, back on the train, back to Manchester.
Ask him. Yo, we sit sometimes.
You have to connect in Istanbul for you to come back to Africa and Algeria.
Yeah, I remember even the game in Alexandria. I had to fly to Dubai to get to Alexandria.
Yeah.
Because there was no direct
so
flight.
tough.
That's
Yeah,
why
it's tough.
I say
And
I
you
don't
come
miss
there,
that.
ask him, you'll wait 4 hours for your bags.
Oh, yeah, because they've got a.
Yeah, no, they just.
Yeah.
Now they can't speak English.
Yeah, no, you
Yeah.
guys
But the
are
moment you
trusting.
get your bags, now they're talking nice to
No, I respect you guys for,
footballers.
for this crazy traveling, crazy training. You know, the amount of efforts you guys keep putting in for this club, it's crazy.
Amazing.
And I know how difficult this is. And I look at you guys, the faces, you have to make sure that you give us the performances.
100%.
And you know, the funny part is, now that I'm on my couch watching you guys play, it looks easier. I'm like, oh, these guys, they enjoy it. But something reminds me that before they play this match, they have done so much.
Amount of time put
They
in.
have done so much, and then there's traveling.
You know, it's what there's a saying. It goes like, nobody knows the amount of hours you had to put in to get that 90 minutes correct. So the game is 90 minutes, but how many hours did you put in of training to get it to that matter.
And corrections
Yeah,
and review and no, I love it. No, I love it.
Ronzo, tell me about the family structure and the support system that you have in place that makes it easier, for lack of a better word, for you to be able to perform at your best.
Yeah, obviously it starts with my parents, sister, nephew, uncles, cousins.
Yeah.
They've always been there for me.
Yeah.
Throughout my career. And there's been so many, like instances where, when I lost my brother, when I didn't want to play anymore, and, they kept pushing me and helping me to get back to loving football again, but it was difficult. But, I think that brought us together as a family. And, recently, obviously the last 10, 11 years or so that I've been with my woman and my son. And now we just got a lovely baby girl as well. So thanks so much. So
Future.
they've...
Manana style goalkeeper.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
It's so funny that we all don't want our kids to do the same thing.
No, my boy.
Yeah.
He actually, he might be joining the Sundowns Academy.
Okay.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
he's got it. So hopefully, he can, keep the Williams name going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got a close-knit family and, we support each other.
100%.
And yeah, they've been a pillar of strength for me. I mean, how many times have I been home this year?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe, if I can probably count on, I don't know. And just to know that she's taking care of my kids.
Yes.
They okay, going to school, going to training, everyone is fine, So it's small things like that that makes me happy, makes me at peace, helps me perform, knowing that everything is fine at home.
Yeah. Let's talk about giving back to your community. What are we doing in PE?
It's difficult now because there's no time. But my woman again, she would do that on my behalf.
Yes.
And I don't like to, show people what you do.
Yeah, 100%.
So she's the one.
You're giving from
And when you give, it's not like you're giving so that
Yes.
people know that you're giving. You're giving
True.
because somebody's in a less fortunate position or you're able to do good for
Yeah.
someone. So
true.
I think what we'd like to know is that what is it that you're doing? You don't have to show us, we agree with you, but we know that you are on the ground because you're nothing without the communities we come from. We
definitely.
can never forget
Yeah,
because that's where it started
Yeah.
for all of us.
Definitely. We had I would call it a partnership because I've been helping them for the past few years now.
Yes.
It was a what's it called, AIDS haven in PE, and it was an old age home.
Yes.
That we actually help.
Yeah.
It started actually the COVID year.
Yes.
Where they put things in the newspaper where they needed help. So I thought, I'm in a okay situation to help. So I went home and helped, and ever since then we've built a bond.
Amazing.
So that's why I said my woman, she would go out and help, and she's in contact with what they need
100%.
and stuff. So she would, do all the things, and I'm just happy that I can.
100%.
But we can do so much more.
Yeah.
Especially, where I come from, because it's just, negativity is it's all about drugs, violence, and because I'm, I've got, how can I say,
in a position
maybe
of
the resources, to help, give back and help, to show maybe, if you're not going to become a sports star, there's something else.
100%.
So maybe in future, I need to start a foundation to give back,
100%.
to help, to bring, something in our area, where
that will better them.
that will better them and
forward.
help them, and maybe not totally stop what's happening, but lessen it.
Yeah, 100%.
And maybe have
Brick
one
by brick, I think you've
definitely.
got to start for somebody else
Yeah.
to have something to look at and reference and build from there.
No, definitely.
Ronta, thank you very much for your time.
No,
I
thanks.
really do appreciate it. I think there's so much more that we could still touch on,
Yeah.
but we're going to hold it here so that we can have you for a part 2.
No problem. Thanks. It was lovely being on the show.
You forgot to tell them that I scored you with my header.
You, a header. Is it Mbonzi? Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave your comments. We are Masandawana.